I got one real quick. No, go bring it up,
Sure.
Brother. Yeah, bring it up, brother.
And this is Ephesians 6:5. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh,
Right.
with fear and trembling in singleness of your heart.
Right.
See, why don't you have fear over your master in the flesh?
Because of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It all goes back to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know? You got it, bro.
It's like real quick, like not just like to bring out Shimei with David all the time. David, the king, walking down. Now he feeling in his sorrow over the situations that he was going through. Here goes Shimei, throwing rocks at him, saying all manner of wickedness. And the little excerpt that they showed you don't mean that's everything he said. He could have said a whole lot of more shit out of his mouth. And they didn't kill him. You know, I think Joab was
they wanted to.
They
wanted to.
kill him. He's like, no, Lord might be doing this just because I.
No, he said the Lord. This is of the Lord. So leave him alone.
Right. So, you know, I'm suffering from my, whatever I'm doing. Don't worry about it. But then on King David's deathbed, don't let that hoary head go
to the grave in peace.
Right. Kill him.
Yeah. No, in other words, he gave him a ultimatum. He said, okay, look, you did all that. All right, cool. Solomon told him, look, you're gonna stay. I'm gonna give you this plot of land here. You're gonna stay on your land, and if you leave your land, I'm gonna kill your ass.
That's right.
And I believe one of his sheep or something left, and then he went to look for it, and he came back, and boom, that was a justification for him to death.
Lord Cole,
yeah.
He was on house arrest.
Even Joab, King David said not to let his hoary head go down in peace either.
That's right. That's right.
And Joab got put to death.
That's right.
By Yahweh Shai himself, which is King Solomon.
That's right. That's right. Man, that's and no. When you slay someone, is that being nice?
Nah, that's being an asshole.
Right.
I got another precept.
Yeah, bring it up, brother. Yeah.
Did you say that more than two?
Just a little bit.
Okay, we'll finish that.
Okay.
Because it's going to get to the point. No, it's all right, bro.
Ephesians 6:5, it says, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling in singleness of your heart, as unto Mashiach.
As unto who?
Mashiach.
And
not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Mashiach, doing the will of Yahweh from the heart.
And then we get accused of being men pleasers for giving homage and servitude to the masters the Lord set up. And now the Lord said in the rule, don't do it for the wrong reason. Do it because I said so. You're doing this for me. That's why we don't give a fuck about what these other niggards say, because we know that we've given it to Yahweh Shai. It's to Yahweh Shai. All right? Because like the apostles bring out all the time, they can't save us. No one brother can save another brother.
No.
We're saved through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai only.
As great as the Apostle Paul was, he said that he couldn't save you.
That's right.
He said, was Paul crucified for you?
That's right. He said, I'm happy I ain't baptized none of y'all except these guys. So y'all don't get it twisted, because I don't teach that. It's not me.
He said, I was not set up to baptize, but to preach the word.
That's right.
You have that scripture?
Yeah. This is 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 20. It says, let them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear.
Read that again, brother.
This is 1 Timothy 5 and 20. It says, it says, them that sin rebuke before all, that others may fear, that others also may fear.
Hey, they may fear. Why? Because the word rebuke means to harshly curse somebody out.
That's right.
And matter of fact, you got that precept, brother?
All right. I got the definition for the rebuke.
Bring it out.
Confute, admonish, convict, convince, tell a fault, rebuke, reprove.
And the scripture also says that open rebuke is better than secret love.
That's right. That's right. So the Lord said do it openly.
Right.
Oh, I have this. This is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 25. It says, smite a scorner, and the simple will beware.
Boom.
And reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge.
Yeah, so the bottom line, it breaks down to two things. If you ain't right, if you're one of those emotional twats, I had to say it like that, that gets offended when a brother gets on you, you know, then this ain't for you. You know, because I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not pleasurable to get cursed out. You know, that shit is like cringe. You know, you cringe. You know, when you get cursed out, it don't feel good. But then again, like the scripture say, rebuke a wise man and he will love thee. Why? Because you're gonna consider, if you're a man of understanding, you're gonna consider what the man is cursing you out for, and you're gonna go back and be like, damn, that brother's right, man. Like, shit. You know, but just that easy, because brother, we in the flesh, so just that easy, you could just be doing some bullshit. You don't even you might not even realize it,
or even intended to do.
Right, and then the brother get on you, and you be like, at first you be, you know, because we're in the Western world, so the flat, like the Apostle Paul said, is any offended and I burn not.
Right.
So there was things that men did to him that he would get offended about. But then being a man of wisdom and understanding, you would sit down and before you just lash out, you'll think about it.
And you can understand it.
Say, wait a minute, is what the brother's saying true? And you be like, damn, he's right. You know? And then then you'll love that brother because you know that if you do something that's off and you don't realize it, you know that man being around you is going to say, yo, brother, you're going off, man. You'll be like, what you mean, brother? And then boom, and then you'll be like, yeah, you're right, brother, the water. You know?
And this is Hebrews 12 and 11. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Right, unto them that's the key. Unto them that are exercised thereby. Because when you read up above that, it says, no, if you're not chastened, then are you bastards and not sons.
That's right.
So if you are being chastened, there's many scriptures that say, despise not the chastening of the Lord.
That's right.
For who the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and rebuketh often.
That's right.
You know? So it says, when you go through that, it says those that go through it are exercised. You know, through that, and then at the other end of it, they come out a better man.
That's right.
You know, because we are coming from a world that teaches you how to be effeminate, teaches you how to think upon your emotions and act on your emotions like a woman does. So in all our lives we were like that until the Lord opened up our eyes to the truth. So coming into the truth is going to take a period of time to hack away at all those years of that bullshit.
That's right.
You know? Until we become what? That perfect man.
That's right.
You know? And how did perfection come? Through suffering. You know? And through the men that the Lord set up, because you know they tell you certain things out of experience. You know,
you might not see slightly. You might not see from right off the back. Sometimes you're just doing something and the elder brother will say, hey, you know, you need to do our program. And in your mind, I'm like, well, shit, I'm doing it this way and it was working. I don't know what the hell, you know, I don't know what you talk about. A righteous man was humble down and said, you know what? Let me try it. Let me go ahead and accept this wisdom, this counsel, and then you'll see, bam, okay. And then you reject the counsel, you'll see you fall on your face like, fuck, I should have did what the man said.
Yep. And on another hand, Salaka, brother.
Go ahead.
On another hand, too, like when you pray or something like that, or you in this jam, and you know your faith is, you know, sometimes you get tested, sometimes you fail, sometimes you are prosper. You know, and then you're going through a situation, and then you know your faith is being tested, and sometimes you don't really feel like you come up on top. And then when the whole thing goes by, and the Lord actually does the thing that you wanted Him to do, then you feel like an asshole.
Right.
You're like, damn, man, see, you know, and you feel it. No, but then that's just a learning process, a learning curve. You know, you got it, bro.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 12 and verse 26. And it says, but they that would not be reformed by the correction wherein he dialed, with them shall feel a judgment worthy of Yahweh.
You gotta read that again, bro. Somebody get out Proverbs 29:1.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 12 and verse 26. And it says, but they that would not be reformed by that correction wherewith he dialed, D-A-L-L-I-E-D, with them shall feel a judgment daily. D-A-D-A-L-L-I-E-D. Dallied. With them shall feel a judgment worthy of Yahweh.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, men are hey, it all goes back to the beginning, where Jake was like, look, Moses, look, we don't want to hear what you got to say no more, man. We want to talk to the Most High Himself. You talking all this stuff about, we want to talk to the Most High Himself. You know, I don't know what you talking about. Look, we don't want to talk to him. We want to talk to the Most High.
The Most High.
And what happened? Before he even started speaking, he was just pulling up, right? Yeah,
That's right,
he was just pulling
the
up.
The
Yeah.
mountain stars.
That's right, man. And it didn't even nothing happen yet.
Thunders and lightnings.
Yeah, it was just the introduction to the Most High. And Jake started running, man. They started running, brother.
Right.
And then they said, nah, Moses, nah, man. We don't want to talk to the Most High no more. We'll talk to you.
That's right.
And from that point on, what happened? The Lord set up an intercessor.
That's right.
You know, which he already had set up the intercessor, but at that point, he made it known, look, this is my man right now. You got to listen to him.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. And then the Most High on top of that said that what the people saying, hey, no, Moses, you deal with him, that because before he killed us, and the Lord said, they said right.
That's
You
it.
know, it's the Lord's no, they were right, because if I dealt with them, I would have to fuck them up. Because they can't stand before me.
If it wasn't for Moses, Moses would have smoked all of us,
That's
man.
right.
Because Moses said, look, Moses, step back, I'm going to smoke them all. I just started a whole nation
Out of you. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Moses, you know, in all his humility, you know,
It's like, Lord, don't let now the enemy's going to be able to say, oh, he brought them all the way into the wilderness just to kill them.
destroy him, yeah.
You know?
And then the Lord considered it. Which shows you, man, that Moses was not just no fly-by-night guy. He was a heavy spirit.
That's right.
And the Lord said, you know, you're right, Moses. You know, that's heavy, man.
That's right.
You know, for the Most High, as great as He is, He humbles Himself to come down and listen to us.
That's right.
You know, and especially His man Moses, man.
And that made the bigger Psalms. We said the Most High humbleth Himself to behold the things that's on the earth.
Yeah.
He don't even have to.
He don't.
It's beneath Him.
Right.
You know.
But He still humbles Himself to listen. Like the scriptures say, condescend to men of low degree. You know, just because you're on a high level don't mean that you have to look down on somebody, narrowly look down on them and act like because they did that shit at the main school. You know, they did that shit at the main school. You know, guys had ranks and shit, and they was like throwing that rank around like nothing. And all them guys are back in the world. Now I'm gonna tell you what, King Mashah didn't do that. High Priest Ariah didn't do that. High Priest Yaakov didn't do that. At the time that he was High Priest Tahar, he didn't do that. Apostle Gabar, Apostle Akkad, they didn't do that. They was always humble. They were always, if you had a problem, if you had to talk to them, they wouldn't shun you away. They'll talk to you, you know, in humility. But the rest of them other guys, that's what the scripture say, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. And those men had the, what's the word I'm looking for? The example, you know, of that. You know, they were great. You know, some of them were great in rank, and some of them were just, you know, known in the congregation, but they never acted like that towards anybody. You know.
I may have a precept.
Bring it out, brother. Bring it out.
This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 32. It says, but when we are judged, we are chastened of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, that we should not be condemned with the world.
Right. Read it again, brother.
This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 32. It says, but when we are judged, we are chastened of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh.
So even if it's through the men that the Lord set up.
But that's how the Lord does it. You know, I mean, unless He jacks you up on a certain point. But the judgment always comes either the Lord dealing with you on doing something to you, some affliction, or through a man.
That's right.
You know, the Lord cursing you out. You got it up.
I was going to say, you would rather it be through the man.
Right.
Because it's a fearful thing to
fall
fall
into
into
the hands of the living
power.
power. Right.
So if you leave it up to, it's like Abad Babon. He, you know, the adulterous snake, you know, right?
Oh, you're talking about the Seattle snake.
The Seattle snake. He went and was popping other men, wives, and doing all kinds of shit. Not once, not twice.
Many times.
Many times. To the point, and then he wouldn't take correction. He wouldn't take the rebuke. He went and did his own thing. Fell out the truth. Next thing you know, he fell out a goddamn window.
That's it. 5 stories.
Right.
And got broke up.
Yeah. And now he's paralyzed.
And then somebody said, pray for his lower extremities.
Yeah.
It was his lower extremities that got him in that situation.